Hello, this is my fourth video in my ongoing series of geopolitics from an Indian perspective. So India, Russia and China were recently seated at the same table at the SCO Summit, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit, and that has left America furious. For decades, the India-America relations seem to have been on a good rise with Bush and Manmohan Singh as counterparts, and then eventually with Trump and Modi, and Biden and Modi, and Modi and Trump. But the recent souring of relations and the condescending tone that Washington has had towards India, along with all of conservative public personnel, have really turned things that bad that they've pushed India and China, who were up until very recently enemies, together. And the US is now slapping 50% additional tariffs and calling India as the sponsor of the war of Russia and Ukraine. And conservative spectators are also talking about retaliation against people of Indian origin living in America. How do they increase more complications for Indian trade relations? How do they have more sanctions on Indian companies that are powering IT services and lots of other things for American companies? So they're thinking about retaliation. They've done it before. During World War II, they put in Japanese Americans in prison camps. So I don't think things are going to get that bad for Indians or people of Indian origin in America. But they're talking about retaliation and using people of Indian origin as hostile population. Not very democratic, right? And then don't forget, up until recently, the entire world had very strong opinions on China. They were also calling it China virus for a little while. All of that, the Galvan Valley clash, India and China has had very concerned relations over the last few decades, especially with China claiming the entirety of the northeast part of India as Chinese territory, and India also saying that Aksai Chin belongs to us, which China has been occupying since the Indo-China War. This particular summit, both Modi and Xi Jinping came up to an agreement and decided that we'll respect each other's integrity and we'll figure out how do you deal with the bigger bully, right? And that is mind-blowing. Even from like an Indian domestic politics standpoint, this is a large issue. Not only the Galwan Valley clash, the Aksai Chin, and sheer magnitude of what happened over here cannot be understated. If Donald Trump is to win a Nobel Peace Prize, it should definitely be for bringing India and China together. It seemed that China took America for a ride the first few weeks of the tariff wars between US and China. Also, a lot of people on both the American side and the Chinese side made tons of money by shorting markets and knowing what exactly Trump was going to tweet about the constant change in tariffs and policies. Donald Trump did also tell news and media personnel about how much his billionaires' friends made when he kept changing policies. So insider trading is clearly not something that is happening over here. It's a changing world, and they say in geopolitics, no one is a permanent ally or a permanent enemy. Hello, this is my fourth video.